I think the research that we did for this program was really very interesting. We worked very closely with specialists, anthropologists, ethnomusicologists, linguists in the area. We had an incredible meeting, and they were our guides that sort of set the map for us. Us happened to be a van from the National Institute of History and Anthropology with my colleague Rodolfo, my colleagues from Washington, Cristina Diaz-Carrera and Dan Sheehy. And along the way, we would meet up with some of the researchers, and they would take us to their research site. So what actually happened is, in going to the research site, and obviously they often do this research for a book or an article, here we were really thinking of how to engage the community in collaborating with us and what they would like to bring to Washington. In meeting with the community members, they became part of defining why it was important for them to come. For example, the Tenec, they're up in the Huasteca Potosina. They're just opening their own tourist center. And this is a group that takes the pole, the tall pole where they had this ceremonial dance. And we're used to seeing this made out of cement, very much in the tourist style. This is a very community event. So they are in their own community. They're adapting a pole that they use for ceremonies because their interest is to use tourism, yes, to bring some revenue into the community, but to also help people experience their culture. On the other hand, you have the Huirrárica. Other people know them as the Huicholes. They're very, very concerned with preserving their ceremonial sites. They're coming from 3 states, and oftentimes their ceremonial sites are not in their own communities. Oftentimes these are lands that have been protected to some degree by the government, but you never quite have the rights there, or tourism comes in and destroys them. So their concern is really to bring this to the eyes of the international world. But in doing so, they well understand, they're not going to understand why these ceremonial sites are important to us unless we show them that this is where, by dancing, we preserve our culture. Cultures throughout the world are always struggling to persist. Culture is very dynamic. And because culture will subsist and resist and persevere, because it's creative, because it keeps transforming itself, but you got to struggle. It's not, a given, this is so pretty that it'll just continue on and on. Mexico has the fortune on the one hand that it is so extraordinarily beautiful in its colors and its exotic, you could say, flavors that people are always expecting. And what sometimes happens there is that you don't respect the deeper meaning of this. These colors are not just to look pretty. The incredible embroideries that the Huirrárica wear are very symbolic to their pilgrimage. If they did not have these colors, they would not be completing the ceremony appropriately, for the deities. So what we'd like to go is go to this deeper Mexico. And not us say it, because in this trip that we did, we ourselves were discovering, even I'm Mexican, I'm a Mexican who thought I knew a little bit of my country. I do, but I know now that to know our country is to just continue discovering, go deeper and deeper to those levels of where people are really comfortable with you so they can let you into that other layer. Mexico is very good at offering you the tourist element, the tourist facade, and keep you right out there. However, if they feel that you are really committing to engage in their own issues, to listen to them, then you get into a deeper side of Mexico. And I think the public will have the opportunity to get into these conversations. I think the Mexico program is truly an opportunity for a very deep cultural conversation, multiple cultural conversations. Most interesting, I think, is going to be the cultural conversations that will take place between the participants themselves.